everyone. My name is Khadija Williams and I'm a Child360 network consultant, and I'm going to be your host today for Thinking Thursday. This is my son Noah.
Hi.
And we're going to be doing a sink float activity. As you can see, I'm just using things from around the house. This is actually just Tupperware, and I filled it maybe 3/4 of the way with water. And I asked Noah to pick out 5 toys. So he chose, who's this?
Forky.
Forky and
Woody.
Woody. And what's
Candy.
this? Motorcycle. What's this?
Black.
A mega block and a Frisbee. So he chose 5 items, and I wrote them all down so that we can chart which ones sink and which ones float. So today we're going to be predicting first. Before we put them in the water, I'm going to ask Noah, do you think it's going to sink or float? And we're going to see if he's right, okay?
Okay.
So Noah, do you think Forky will sink or float?
Sink.
Sink. He thinks Forky is going to go all the way down to the bottom. Let's see if he's right.
Okay.
Yes, as you can see, Forky sank to the bottom. Noah, why do you think Forky went to the bottom?
Because it's too heavy.
Because he's too heavy. You got it. And now we have the motorcycle. Do you think the motorcycle will sink or float?
Sink.
He thinks the motorcycle will sink. Let's see. Was he correct?
No.
The motorcycle is floating on top of the water. So let's see. Forky sank. So we're going to mark sink. And the motorcycle stayed on the top. He was floating. So we're going to mark float on our chart. 3 more. What do we have next, Noah?
Mega block.
A mega block. Let's see. Do you think it's going to sink or float?
Sink.
Let's see. What happened? What happened with the mega block? Let's put it in and see what happens. At first it was floating, and oh, look, it's still floating. The mega block is still floating, and you thought it was gonna sink, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's mark the mega block float. 2 more things.
Okay.
Next is the Frisbee. Do you think it's gonna sink or float? Sink. Let's see. You think it's gonna sink? Let's see. Put it in the water. The Frisbee is floating. The Frisbee is floating. We're gonna mark float. Last thing, Woody. The Woody peg. Let's put him in the water. Let's see. Do you think he's gonna sink or float? Sink. Let's see. Is he sinking or floating? Let's see. Let's look at it. He's floating. He's staying at the top. So let's mark float. So now we have our chart full of what actually happened. And we're going to count how many items sank and how many items were floating. So Noah, how many items were floating? Let's count the X's.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4. And how many sank?
5.
1. Just 1 sank. 4 were floating, 1 sank. This is a great way to help them with counting, comparing, and learning all about weight. So I hope you guys enjoyed this activity. Have fun. Thanks for joining us for Thinking Thursday. Bye.